The atmosphere inside the studio was buzzing with anticipation as Jimmy Kimmel took the stage for what promised to be a memorable evening. The guest of honor was none other than Johnny Depp, a Hollywood legend known for his eccentric roles, deep charisma, and tumultuous off-screen life. Fans cheered wildly as Depp made his entrance. Dressed in his signature bohemian style, a weathered leather jacket, layered scarves, and a hat tilted just so. At first, the energy was electric. Kimmel welcomed Depp warmly, exchanging a few jokes and playful banter. They talked about Depp's latest film, his unique approach to character development, and even touched on some behind-the-scenes stories that made the audience laugh. It felt like classic late-night television, with charisma and charm pouring from every corner of the set. But beneath the surface, a quiet storm was forming, ready to erupt in a moment no one anticipated. Asterisk, as the interview continued. Kimmel shifted gears from light entertainment to more controversial territory. With a slightly forced smile, he began probing into Depp's personal life, referencing the highly publicized court battles and past scandals that had dominated headlines for years. "A lot has happened the past few years," Kimmel began, his tone cautious but unmistakable. "Do you feel like Hollywood has forgiven you, or are you still working to rebuild that trust?" Depp, who had initially been relaxed and jovial, visibly tensed. He adjusted his seat, took a sip from his mug, and looked Kimmel in the eye. "Forgiveness isn't something I asked for," he replied evenly. "I told the truth. That's all I needed to do." Asterisk. Kimmel, sensing the tension but determined to follow through, continued, "But do you think your image has changed? I mean, the internet had a field day with everything. It was like a global soap opera." Depp raised an eyebrow. "Do you see me as a soap opera, Jimmy? Or as someone who spent decades creating characters that people love?" The crowd fell silent. Kimmel chuckled nervously. "And just trying to understand the journey, man. That's all." Depp leaned in slightly. "Hey, there are journeys, and then there are witch hunts. I've been through both." His tone was calm, but the edge was undeniable. Asterisk, trying to regain control of the moment. Kimmel brought up a viral clip from Depp's court testimony, hoping to lighten the mood. "Remember the muffins? That whole thing became a meme," he said with a laugh, showing a clip on the screen behind them. Depp didn't smile. He watched the clip with a blank expression, then turned to Kimmel. "You think this is funny?" That people took something painful and twisted it into content. The audience shifted uncomfortably. Kimmel, now clearly on the defensive, said it was just people trying to find levity. Asterisk. Depp removed his hat and set it down beside him. "Levity at someone else's expense isn't levity. It's cruelty with a laugh track." He stood up, the atmosphere turning icy. "I agreed to come here to talk about art, about stories, about creation, not to be a prop in a rerun of tabloid theater." Kimmel rose too, trying to salvage the situation. "Johnny, wait, this isn't what I wanted. I respect you, honestly." Depp shook his head slowly. "Then show it. Don't dig up wounds, just to see if they still bleed." Without another word, he walked off stage, leaving a stunned audience and a silent set. Asterisk. The show cut to commercial abruptly. When it returned, Kimmel addressed the walk-off. "Well, folks, that didn't go as planned. I have nothing but admiration for Johnny Depp and regret that our conversation took a turn." He didn't elaborate, moving on to the next segment with a visibly shaken demeanor. Social media exploded. Clips of the confrontation were shared millions of times within hours. Hashtags like #DeppWalksOut, #KimmelControversy, and #LateNightFail trended worldwide. Commentators on every platform had something to say. Some blamed Kimmel for being insensitive. Others defended his right to ask difficult questions. Depp's fans came out in force, praising him for defending his dignity. Asterisk. Over the next few days, media outlets dissected every frame of the exchange. Analysts discussed the ethics of celebrity interviews, questioning whether talk shows had become too invasive under the guise of being casual. Some critics praised Depp for maintaining composure and drawing a line in the sand. Others said he overreacted. But what most agreed upon was that the incident marked a turning point in how late-night interviews are approached. The old model of ambush questions and viral moments was beginning to lose favor. Audiences wanted depth, not drama. Depp later released a brief statement through his publicist. Mr. Depp appreciates the support of his fans and believes in the importance of respect during public discourse. He remains focused on his creative work and is grateful for those who engage with it sincerely. It was brief, dignified, and exactly what his fans expected. Meanwhile, Kimmel continued his show without directly referencing the incident again. It became an unspoken footnote, one that hung over his future interviews like a shadow. Guests were suddenly more cautious. Producers issued new guidelines. Sensitivity became the word of the day. In the aftermath, Depp's popularity soared. His upcoming film received massive pre-release buzz. Interviews with him on other platforms were carefully curated and deeply respectful. He was portrayed not as a scandal-ridden actor, but as a resilient artist weathering the storm. Documentaries and podcasts discussed the Kimmel incident in depth, framing it as a lesson in boundaries, trauma, and the need for empathy in public spaces. Even those who weren't initially Depp fans found themselves reconsidering their stance. For Kimmel. The clash became a lesson as well. While he didn't lose significant viewership, the tone of his shows subtly changed. There were fewer provocative questions, more genuine conversations. The laughter remained, but it came with a layer of mindfulness. In the cutthroat world of late-night television, that shift was both rare and necessary. Johnny Depp's refusal to play along had sparked a quiet revolution not through rage, but through refusal. Not through spectacle, but through silence. Months later, people still referenced the moment. It became a touchstone for media training and journalistic ethics. It reminded everyone watching that celebrities, despite their fame, are still human. Beings with history's pain and the right to set boundaries. Johnny Depp didn't storm off in anger. He walked away with intention. And in doing so, he may have changed the late-night landscape forever.